I want to dig deeper into that. What about the potential legal ramifications? So we're bringing in former federal prosecutor Joseph Moreno now. Joseph, thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Natasha. Great to be with you.
So Joseph, let's get into the three potential federal crimes that the Justice Department is investigating now. We're talking about violations of the Espionage Act, obstruction of justice, and criminal handling of government records. So is this enough to potentially put the former president behind bars?
Well, Natasha, I think your correspondent did a really nice job actually laying out, some of the key questions here. One will be, were these documents declassified properly while President Trump was still in office? It's not a complete defense, but it's a pretty important factor because it really kind of takes the air out of a lot of the government's argument that he had classified documents. Markings are not determinative. It's were the documents declassified or not? The other question is, was there lying about it? And as you pointed out, one of the three statutes mentioned in the warrant is obstruction of justice. That could go to that exact story you just mentioned about whether attorneys for the former president lied about whether they had these documents. So regardless of whether the documents were classified or declassified, if the president's lawyers lied to the FBI or the Justice Department about whether he had them, and it turns out he had them, that's a problem too. So, we've learned so much in the last couple of days, but there are still so many pieces of puzzle that remain.
And if I could follow up on the declassification issue that you're talking about, Mr. Trump is saying he did not break the law because he declassified all of the documents found in Florida before he left the White House. But isn't there a process in place? Yes, the president can declassify documents. It is not so just because he says they're now declassified, right?
There's a process. Okay, so typically what happens is it's memorialized. There are government attorneys that are involved. The agency that classified the document gets to weigh in. But ultimately, it is the president's ultimate decision. Now, what's never been done is it's never been tested in court whether it's illegal for a president to skip that process and just say they're declassified. It's highly abnormal, but heck, so many things about the Trump administration were. So we're going to get a sort of crash course in classification and declassification if this case moves forward. And it's going to really center on, were these documents declassified? When did it happen? Was it done properly?
I think so. And could I ask, could being convicted eventually of violating any of these bar him effectively from running in 2024?
I'm going to give you the greatest lawyer answer, which is it depends. One of the three laws that's mentioned in the warrants does bar someone from running for office if they're convicted of it. The problem is that might be unconstitutional because the Constitution says what qualifications you need to run for president. And being convicted of a felony, even a serious one, like a classified document related one, is not mentioned in the Constitution, right? You can be impeached, you can be convicted, then you can be barred, but not by via a statute passed by Congress. So you would see another court battle over that issue if it turns out that former President Trump is tried, convicted, and yet tries to run again for president.
And with your background and experience, what would you say is the likely outcome here for former President Trump?
I think President Trump is facing some exposure on a couple of different fronts, right? Some regarding January 6th, some regarding the fake elector scheme. If I had to kind of rank this classification issue, it's probably toward the bottom. I think his exposure really lies in January 6th related issues. If the Justice Department moves forward with a case, you might see the classified document issue kind of slapped on there as sort of an add-on. I don't think it would be the focus, though, of a prosecution in and of itself.
All right, Joseph Moreno, I certainly appreciate the context you brought today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.